So before I get started on this review, look, I gotta revisit a take that I had back in my Beast review. Look, essentially I said that Idris Elba has never been in a bad movie. When editing that video, I heard myself say that, The Dark Tower, that movie that came out in like 2017, 2018, or whenever it came out, The Dark Tower with Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, that movie actually came flooding back into my memory. I had completely forgot I watched that. So I had to take back what I said about Idris Elba never being bad in a movie, because that is honestly as low as he can possibly get. But I'm not saying that this movie is on par with that at all, because it's really not. But I just had to get that. I just had to make up for that take whenever I had the chance, and this is that chance. So other than that, this is 3,000 Years of Longing. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for 3,000 Years of Longing, starring Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton, and was directed by George Miller. This is also George Miller's first feature film since Mad Max Fury Road, so that's a little fun fact for you. So our story basically follows Tilda Swinton as this lonely, brilliant scientist. She's traveling out of the country. She stumbles upon this genie bottle that has Idris Elba captured inside, and basically Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton go over these stories of how Idris Elba has been longing for somebody to finally fulfill the 3 wishes so that he can be free, because that's how, genie rules work. And essentially, after these stories that are told to Tilda Swinton, she eventually, falls in love with the genie herself, and she wants to experience the same things that he is telling her that in these stories. She wants to experience that. And so that's basically, our 3,000 Years of Longing. And honestly, I have to say this. I was thoroughly surprised about how much I enjoyed this film. I really didn't know what to think how this movie was going to be. I saw this is George Miller's first feature film since Mad Max Fury Road. I absolutely adore Mad Max Fury Road, so I had to just go see what this movie was talking about. I didn't watch a trailer for it. I knew it was just going to be a George Miller trip. I'm down for George Miller trip, so I just walked in, wanted a trippy vibe, and that's what I got. I got a trippy vibe, and I got, honestly, a very underrated love story here, because this is one that definitely strikes your heart in a way I did not expect. So to start off with what I liked about this movie, look, this movie is kind of broken up into technically 3 or 4 parts if you want to count all the fake editing and the fake endings at the end that this movie wants to keep throwing at you. But other than that, no, this movie's really kind of broken up into 2 parts. So there's one part that I absolutely adored, which is like the main chunk of the movie, where they're just in the hotel room, Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton, and they're talking about all of Idris Elba's past owners and how he's gotten up until this point, and he's telling her about the rules of the genie and how it all works and things like that. And for me, that part was the highlight of this movie. Like, that actually showed off a lot of reasons why George Miller is such an extraordinary director and a storyteller. This has a lot of the George Miller, twists and turns, or like the crazy CGI stuff that happens. And then on top of that, you just have a great story going on. Like, I didn't expect to be so enriched by like the story that was being told here. Like, this is honestly about a genie who's just been longing for love like all these years, and he's trying to get these 3 wishes fulfilled, but in his journey of doing so, he's learned like so many different things. And it's crazy to see, like, we all envision at some point, if a genie were to come to us and say we have 3 wishes, what the hell we'd wish for. And this movie really dives into where those wishes can get you, and how those wishes can end up either ruining your life or making it out to be an absolutely beautiful life, and it's crazy because they use examples of like all genie stories end bad. They didn't once bring up Aladdin, but I'm not sure if they wanted to, because that's a happy genie story in my opinion. That might be the only one, but that's definitely a happy genie story in my opinion. But Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba give phenomenal performances in this movie. I'm absolutely surprised. I know Tilda Swinton's a good actor, but I'm just surprised about how like I am receiving Tilda Swinton. Like, of course she's great in Doctor Strange, but it's like, other than that, I'm not expecting to be a fan of like Tilda Swinton movies, and she's actually a very good actress. Like, I have no complaints about her at all. She's very entertaining. And like I said, Idris Elba with the whole being a genie thing and all the special effects they have going out throughout this film, incredible. Like, it's a very good story. It's a very good love story at the end of the day. Like, it's one that I did not expect to be so attached to. I really enjoyed it. It was a very beautifully told tale. It felt like a Greek mythology tale to a sense. Like, it felt like just going back in time and just going through history and just learning a bunch of stuff. And honestly, this movie is a very special one. It resonated deeply with me, a lot deeper than I thought it would. I did not expect to like this movie as much as I did, but it honestly, it took like all the trippiness of George Miller's directing style, and then added just a wonderful love element. And I'm a sucker for romance movies, and this one got me. This one definitely got me. But there is something that I didn't like about this movie, and I'm going to get to that right now. So whoever edited this movie, look, clearly they wanted us to think that this thing was going to end a lot sooner than it obviously did, because it did the whole fake ending thing, or at least like it edited it to the point where you thought the movie was ending at least 2 or 3 times and it didn't end. Like, it just kept going. And there was a point in the movie where, like I said, it's probably the last like 30 minutes of this thing, but I didn't really check my time, so I don't really know. But this movie isn't long at all. It's like an hour, 48 minutes. But the last like 30 minutes really felt like it was dragging, because they kept editing it to the point where it seemed like the movie was going to end, but it didn't. It just kept going, and I'm like, all right, this is dragging at this point. But then, like I said, the ending, well, I don't think I said this, but the ending was actually so beautiful to the point that I almost let this movie get away with dragging it out towards the end, but no, I couldn't let it get away with that, because the ending completely tried to fool you into thinking, you just enjoyed the last 30 minutes. No, I was tricked into enjoying that last 30 minutes because of that ending. But the last 30 minutes is a waste of my time. Well, not a complete waste, but it just felt like out of place with the film, because like I said, the editing kept making it seem like the movie was ending, but it didn't end. It kept going, and I'm like, all right, if the movie's not going to be over, stop making me think that it is, because it felt like it was going to end like twice, and by the third time it tricked me. I was like, whatever, like, just please end this, at some point, because now you're just making me upset. But that's a very petty note. That's just something very petty I had to point out. I just didn't like it, the fact that they were just playing around with people's emotions like that. But the ending, did sit with me, and once it resonated with me, I realized that I enjoyed this film a lot more than I was supposed to. Overall, this is an absolutely magnificent, whimsical, extraordinary tale of a love story between a genie and a woman, or between a woman trying to find love itself, and she found it through the genie. I mean, there's so many different ways you can interpret this movie. There's so many different ways you can take this movie, and I love that. I really love that you can walk away with so many different lessons about this movie. Overall, guys, this is just a very good time at the theater. It's way better than Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul, but honestly, I think so is Morbius, and that goes to say something, because I hate Morbius. But I'm going to stop talking about that movie. But 3,000 Years of Longing is absolutely incredible, guys. I recommend everybody go see it. It's very good. It's just a good time at the movies, man. It's something different. It's honestly something that I feel like people need. It's something a little different from what we've gotten this year so far in the movies, and I think it's good for everybody to experience a little different. So for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give 3,000 Years of Longing a 3 out of 5 stars. Okay, so 3,000 Years of Longing. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. This is your guy in the chair here. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. More content coming to you soon.